He's still not done. Man, I had to look to see how old he is. He's 35 doing this. Steph, splash! Steph Curry lighting up the night here in the Big Easy.
That right there was Steph Curry hitting a 30-foot bomb to bring up 42 points on the second night of a back-to-back. And when I tell you Steph Curry is only getting better with age, that's not an exaggeration, because 4 games into the season, and Steph is averaging over 33 points on 56, 47, 92 splits, which includes taking just under 13 threes a game. But not only is Steph having fun on the court, he's having the time of his life on the bench, which is a big difference from what we saw last year. And there's one major reason for that.
Drives and kick. Paul fakes the pass, shoots, and buries a 3. Paul, that patented step back. Paul sizes up Nance, is going to fire and hits. A luxury this is for Steve Kerr. As Chris Paul sizes up Williamson, crosses over, fades, fires, got it.
Yeah, after a lot of people questioned how a 38-year-old Chris Paul would fit on the Warriors, 4 games into the season, and this has been a game changer for the Dubs. And I can't stress that enough. Not only is CP3 averaging 11 points and 8 assists on just 1.5 turnovers per game, but he's transformed this bench. Let's go back to last season. Through 4 games last year, the top 3 players in minutes played per game off the bench for the Dubs were Jordan Poole, JaMychal Green, and James Wiseman. In those first 4 games, these were their respective plus minuses. Fast forward to this season, and through 4 games, this is the plus minus of the top 3 bench players. They've gone from having possibly the worst performing bench in the NBA to maybe the best. And don't think for a second that Steph and the rest of the Dubs starters don't appreciate this.
Really, our second unit has been the difference. Guys really making a difference, and not only protecting leads, but building on them. So on the road, that's huge because it stabilizes us and gives us good energy.
And while CP3 has been the catalyst for this change, alongside the improvement of Moody, JK, and of course the return of Gary Payton II, there is one name that has slipped under the radar. Trayce Jackson-Davis is a legit NBA player as a rookie. Forget about his potential for a second. Right now, he is helping the Warriors win games, and that's what matters. Take this play for example. He sets the screen for CP3. Zion falls asleep, so Chris hits Saric, but this is where Trayce gets to work, grabbing the offensive board before kicking it to Pods, setting another screen, attacking the rim, and in one instant grabbing his own board to throw it down. That's the kind of athleticism you just can't teach. But it's not just his offense. Against the Pels, Trayce had 9 boards and 4 blocks. Just look at this play where CJ has the ball out top. He creates some separation, and Trayce does a great job at staying attached to Valanciunas until the last second, where he somehow manages to alter the shot. Just look at the explosiveness on display. And we've already seen a few glimpses of what a pick and roll partnership with CP3 could look like. I can't even imagine how dangerous this duo could be 60 games into the season when they both understand each other's games even more. And the reason the Dubs are damn near impossible to beat when their bench is playing like this is because one thing we know about Steph Curry is he's going to get hot. Against the Pelicans, well, he entered that building scorching hot. But the night before against Houston, well, it was a different story. With the game in the balance at 88-87 and 5 minutes remaining, Steph had struggled all night long, having only scored 10 points on 2 of 8 shooting up to that moment in time. That's when that switch flipped. Steph started by hitting a casual pull-up 3. 30 seconds later, and this is what really separates Steph. He has 2 defenders go to trap him, so he offloads it to Draymond, but with the sole intention of getting it back and immediately knocking the shot down. Everyone on Houston knew what his plan was, but that doesn't mean you can stop it. And speaking of not being able to stop him, the moment Steph had Alperen Şengün on an island after this loon screen, well, we all knew what was about to happen. But that's okay, because Alperen Şengün isn't paid to stop Steph Curry. Someone who is paid a lot of money to try and stop someone like Steph Curry is Dillon Brooks. And I'll let Fitz tell you how that went for him.
This is screens to get Brooks off of him. Oh, he crossed him over. Let Brooks fly by.
Hold up. let's run this back. Having hit 3 threes in a row, Steph brings it up. Dre sets the screen, which Steph uses to manipulate Brooks, going behind the back the other way, and this part is just cruel, as Steph crosses Brooks once before then faking him out and knocking it down. Just watch Brooks try to recover, desperately jumping once and then again to absolutely no success. Oh, it breaks my heart seeing Dillon Brooks look like a clown in front of millions of people. But speaking of Dillon Brooks, the man who he once idolized is back. And for all the people that still to this day question why the Warriors need and love Draymond Green so much, I present to you this game as the reason why. Right here is Zion Williamson, an unstoppable force who puts up 25 a night without breaking a sweat. It wasn't so easy for him against Draymond Green though. Watch here. CJ gives the ball to Zion with his back to the basket. He takes a couple of dribbles and watch closely. Right here is where Zion would normally power through his defender and get right to the rim, but Draymond is so strong that he forces Zion to spin away from the contact and put up a difficult hook shot. And this play was another example of Dre's strength. This time Zion has the ball at the free throw line. Once again, Zion tries to use his brute strength, but once again, Dre counters that with his own strength before managing to go straight up with Loon helping from the weak side, forcing yet another miss. Dre might not be built like Zion, but his level of strength and control of his body is what makes him one of the greatest defenders ever. And if for whatever reason you still aren't convinced by the job he did defensively, just watch this. No, I didn't put that clip in as a joke. That right there was because of Draymond. Let me explain. Prior to this game, Zion had taken 34 shot attempts on the season. Out of those 34, not a single one was outside the paint, let alone the three-point line. But Draymond's presence forced Zion into experimenting, which resulted in a miss. And this isn't new. Draymond's defense is so good that he forces players into taking shots that they aren't accustomed to taking because he's so good at taking away their strengths. And that right there is why Draymond Green is and will always be essential for this Warriors team. Now, when you have this version of Dre alongside a healthy GP2, plus guys like Wiggs, Loon, JK, and Moody, it tells me one thing. This Warriors defense is going to be elite once again. Back in 2021, when the Dubs won the chip, they were the second best defense in the league. Last year, that slipped to middle of the pack. Now, it's only 4 games into the season, but so far the signs are positive, with the Warriors boasting the 6th best defense in the league, and more importantly, they just have so many options. We know what Andrew Wiggins can do, locking up the likes of Luka and Tatum in that championship run. Then you have GP2 and Draymond who do absolutely everything. And oh yeah, the young guys in Moody and JK are more than capable of defending multiple positions as well. It's only 4 games into the season, but everything about this Warriors team so far looks significantly better than last year. Now, if you did make it all the way to the end of the video, a like would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe to the channel for more. Have a great day. Bye.